You've lost count of how many times you've hit play on the same shows. Friends for the 25th time? The Office marathons where you mouth every gym glance? Harry Potter weekends that stretch into weeks? Your partner sighs, your kids beg for something new, and Netflix has stopped even trying to recommend fresh content. Everyone thinks you're stuck in a loop, too comfortable to change. But what if this isn't laziness? What if your brain is choosing these rewatches on purpose because they deliver something new shows rarely can? In a world of endless options and constant chaos, returning to familiar stories isn't avoidance, it's strategy. It's comfort engineered by psychology, nostalgia, and pure self-preservation. Let's unpack exactly why your brain keeps pressing next episode on the same old favorites and why that's actually a smart, healthy choice. The biggest reason people rewatch is the very thing that makes others roll their eyes. You already know what happens. Ross says the wrong thing at the wrong time, Michael Scott drops an inappropriate joke, Harry defeats Voldemort. It's all scripted, predictable, locked in. But predictability isn't boring here, it's the superpower. In everyday life, uncertainty rules. Work emails arrive with hidden stress, relationships shift unexpectedly, global news delivers fresh anxiety daily. Your brain is wired to scan for threats in the unknown, burning energy on what-if scenarios. Rewatching flips that script. You know the conflict will resolve, the punchline will land, the couple will reunite. There are no cliffhangers to ruin your sleep, no character betrayals to process. This certainty creates a rare bubble of emotional safety. Psychologists explain it through the lens of anticipated pleasure. When outcomes are known and positive, the brain still releases dopamine, the reward chemical, because it anticipates the good feelings ahead. You get the joy of the laugh or the warmth of the happy ending without the risk of disappointment. It's like eating your favorite meal again. The taste is familiar, but the satisfaction is real and reliable every time. This is especially powerful in tough seasons. After a draining day, the last thing you want is another story that might let you down. Rewatching guarantees the emotional payoff you need. Laughter when you're stressed, tears you can control, resolution that restores balance. It's not escapism in the negative sense, it's deliberate emotional engineering. You choose stories where the good guys win, friendships endure, and love finds its way, because real life doesn't always deliver that reliability. Far from being stuck, this habit shows emotional intelligence. You're selecting content that regulates your mood effectively. In a culture obsessed with novelty, choosing predictability is rebellious self-care. It reminds you that not every experience needs to be brand new to be meaningful. Sometimes the deepest comfort comes from knowing exactly how the story ends and still choosing to feel it all over again. At the heart of why rewatches feel better each time is a simple but powerful psychological principle, the mere exposure effect. Discovered in the 1960s, it states that people develop a preference for things simply because they are familiar. The more you're exposed to something neutral or positive, the more you like it, without needing any new information. Apply this to your favorite show. The first watch introduces characters, jokes, and storylines. By the third or fourth rewatch, those elements aren't just known, they're beloved. The laugh track feels like a warm hug. The theme song triggers instant calm. Even minor side characters become comforting presences. Your brain has repeatedly paired these stimuli with positive emotions, laughter, relief, connection. So now just hearing, "I'll be there for you," floods you with feel-good chemicals. This effect works beyond logic. You don't need a new plot twist to enjoy it more. Familiarity itself breeds affection. It's why people re-listen to the same song on repeat or reread beloved books. Each exposure strengthens neural pathways linked to pleasure, making the experience increasingly rewarding. For comfort shows, this creates a feedback loop. You watch, feel good, brain tags the show as safe and rewarding, next watch feels even better. Over dozens of rewatches, the show becomes an emotional anchor. In moments of stress or loneliness, your brain craves that proven source of positivity, just like it craves a favorite food or scent from childhood. Critically, the mere exposure effect thrives on repetition without overkill. Too much of a bad thing causes aversion, but positive, low-stakes content like sitcoms or feel-good movies stays in the sweet spot. That's why comedies dominate rewatch lists. They deliver consistent, gentle rewards. In short, your obsession isn't random. It's your brain efficiently building attachment through safe, repeated exposure. The show hasn't changed, your fondness has deepened, because familiarity equals comfort, and comfort equals survival in a demanding world. Modern life is unpredictable by design. Deadlines shift, plans cancel, opinions flip overnight, and bad news arrives in constant pings. Your nervous system stays in low-level alert, scanning for the next disruption. This chronic uncertainty drains mental energy and spikes anxiety. Rewatching favorite shows counters this perfectly. Every episode is a controlled environment. Same characters, same tone, same structure. The chaos of reality stops at the screen. You know Pam will forgive Jim, the gang will solve the problem, the hero will triumph. This predictability soothes the part of your brain that hates surprises. Neuroscientifically, predictable positive outcomes reduce activity in the amygdala, fear center, while boosting prefrontal cortex function, control and planning. You feel safer because nothing bad can happen that you haven't already survived. The emotional stakes are real but contained. No permanent damage, no lingering dread. This craving for predictability explains why comfort viewing spikes during crises, pandemics, personal loss, high stress periods. People flock to light, familiar content because it restores a sense of order. The 22-minute sitcom becomes a microcosm of a stable world where problems resolve neatly and relationships endure. It's not escapism in the negative sense, it's deliberate emotional engineering. You choose stories where the good guys win, friendships endure, and love finds its way, because real life doesn't always deliver that reliability. Watching something new demands serious brain power. You track names, backstories, motivations, foreshadowing, tone shifts, all while deciding if you like it enough to continue. It's like mental detective work, exhausting, especially after a long day. Rewatching eliminates that load entirely. No new information to process, characters are old friends, plot points are memorized. Your brain slips into cruise control, using fewer resources in the prefrontal cortex, the area handling executive function and novelty. Studies show familiar media activates reward centers without taxing attention networks, creating a state of relaxed focus. This relaxed focus is why rewatches feel restorative. After making thousands of micro-decisions daily, what to eat, where, reply to, the last thing you need is more cognitive strain. Pressing play on a known episode requires zero setup. No reading synopses, no judging trailers, no commitment anxiety. It's instant access to relaxation. The result? Lower stress hormones, slower heart rate, deeper breathing. It's passive mindfulness. Your mind wanders gently within safe boundaries. No plot holes to puzzle over, no twists to anticipate, just gentle immersion. This mental rest is especially valuable in burnout culture. When every new show feels like homework, is it worth my time? Rewatching becomes efficient self-care. You get entertainment plus emotional benefits with minimal input. It's the entertainment equivalent of comfort food, nourishing without effort. In essence, rewatching isn't lazy viewing, it's strategic energy conservation. Your brain thanks you by delivering calm, joy, and restoration without asking much in return. One of the most fascinating parts of rewatching is that you're never truly watching the exact same story twice. The screen stays identical, same dialogue, same scenes, same music, but you are different every time you press play. Life experience, age, emotions, and personal growth change the lens through which you see the content. When you first watched a movie or show as a teenager, you probably identified with the young, rebellious character, the one running from responsibility, chasing dreams, or figuring out identity. Years later, in your 20s or 30s, you start noticing the parent side, the quiet sacrifices, the worry behind the rules, the weight of legacy. By your 40s or beyond, certain lines hit harder because you've lived through loss, regret, or the passage of time. A single sentence that once felt like background noise now carries deep meaning. Take classic examples like The Lion King. As a child, you cried when Mufasa died because it was scary and sad. As an adult, you cry because you finally understand every word he said about responsibility, circle of life, and remembering who you are. The same scene delivers a completely different emotional impact. Or consider The Matrix. First viewing, it's all about cool action and special effects. Later viewings reveal uncomfortable truths about comfort zones, illusion versus reality, and the cost of waking up to harder truths. This evolution happens because stories are mirrors. They reflect back whatever stage of life you're in. Rewatching becomes a form of self-reflection without effort. You don't need to journal or meditate. The familiar narrative quietly shows you how far you've come, what you've learned, and sometimes what you still need to process. It also allows safe revisiting of difficult emotions. You can feel grief, nostalgia, or even anger at a character's choices, knowing the story ends well. There's no risk of new pain, just the chance to feel old feelings in a new way. This layered experience keeps rewatches fresh even after dozens of viewings. The content doesn't change, but your capacity to connect with it deepens. In this way, rewatching isn't repetition, it's progression. Each cycle reveals new insights, unlocks new emotions, and strengthens your sense of personal growth. It's one of the quietest, most powerful ways stories continue to shape us long after the first watch. Comfort shows and movies do more than entertain. They act as personal time capsules. Every rewatch pulls you back to the exact moment in your life when that story first mattered. The living room where you watched with family, the dorm room late-night binges, the quiet evenings after a breakup when a sitcom felt like company. These memories are woven into the scenes themselves. When the opening credits roll, it's not just music, it's a portal. You remember who you were sitting next to, what you were going through, how the world felt back then. Maybe it was Thursday nights when everyone had to be home for the live broadcast, or rainy weekends spent quoting lines with friends who've since moved away. Rewatching becomes a form of time travel that lets you visit past versions of yourself. This nostalgia isn't always purely happy. Sometimes it carries grief. You might miss the person who introduced you to the movie, or the friend you used to text reactions to every episode. The show becomes a way to keep them close, even if they're no longer around. A particular scene might trigger a flood of remembrance, not just of the story, but of shared laughter, inside jokes, or quiet understanding. Psychologically, this connection to the past strengthens identity. Humans need continuity. In a life full of change, new jobs, new cities, new relationships, familiar media provides a thread that ties everything together. You see who you were, who you've become, and realize the core parts of you have stayed consistent. That continuity feels grounding. It also helps process change. When life feels fragmented, returning to a show from a simpler time reminds you that joy, friendship, and resolution were real once and can be again. It's a gentle way to honor your history without getting lost in it. The time capsule quality makes rewatching uniquely personal. No two people have the exact same emotional attachment to the same episode because no two lives are identical. Your version of the show carries your memories, your growth, your losses. That's why it feels irreplaceable. New content can be good, but it can't carry your history the way an old favorite can. In the end, rewatching is remembering. It's keeping pieces of your past alive, celebrating them, grieving them when needed, and carrying them forward. That makes it far more than entertainment. It's a quiet act of preservation. Every day you make thousands of small choices: what to wear, what to eat, which messages to answer, which tasks to prioritize. By evening, your mental decision-making capacity is depleted. This is called decision fatigue. Even simple choices start to feel heavy because your mental battery is low. Choosing a new show or movie adds another layer of decision stress. You scroll endlessly, read reviews, watch trailers, wonder if it's worth the investment of time. What if it's disappointing? What if you hate it after 3 episodes? What if it gets canceled mid-season? The risk of wasted time and emotional letdown looms large when you're already exhausted. Rewatching removes all that friction. There's no scrolling, no debate, no uncertainty. You know the runtime, the tone, the payoff. You can press play in seconds and immediately drop into comfort. It's the entertainment version of grabbing your favorite takeout instead of trying a new restaurant. No guesswork, no regret. This efficiency matters more than people realize. When your brain is overloaded, even enjoyable activities can feel like work. A new series requires active attention, learning characters, following plot threads, judging quality. Rewatching demands almost none of that. It's low stakes, high reward. You get the same emotional benefits: laughter, warmth, catharsis, with zero upfront cost. In high-stress periods, this shortcut becomes essential. After a long workday or during tough life phases, the ability to bypass decision-making preserves what little energy remains. It's not laziness, it's resource management. Your brain is prioritizing recovery over novelty. Many people unconsciously lean on this habit during burnout or transition times. When everything else feels uncertain, having one reliable choice feels like control. You don't have to think, you just have to press play. Over time, this pattern becomes a healthy boundary. You protect your mental space by reserving new content for when you have bandwidth. Rewatching fills the gaps without draining you further. It's a sustainable way to enjoy stories when full attention isn't possible. Decision fatigue is real, and ignoring it leads to poorer choices overall. By choosing the known over the unknown in entertainment, you're actually making a wise allocation of limited resources. Comfort isn't avoidance, it's strategy. Rewatching familiar content is one of the most effective, natural forms of emotional regulation available. When stress, anxiety, or overwhelm build up, your nervous system needs a way to downshift. Familiar shows and movies provide exactly that, a predictable dose of emotion in a safe container. Therapists often note that predictable narratives help reduce anxiety because they offer certainty. You know when the sad part comes, how long it lasts, and that it resolves positively. This controlled exposure lets you feel emotions without being overwhelmed by them. You can cry during a heartfelt scene, laugh at the same joke, or feel hopeful at the ending, all on your terms. Unlike real life, where emotions can arrive unannounced and unresolved, media lets you titrate emotions. The sadness is contained to 22 minutes or 2 hours. The joy is reliable. This structure mimics techniques used in therapy, like gradual exposure or scheduled reflection, but it happens passively through entertainment. Neurobiologically, familiar content lowers cortisol, stress hormone, while gently engaging the reward system. The brain recognizes the pattern and relaxes its guard. Heart rate slows, breathing evens, muscle tension releases. It functions like a weighted blanket for the mind, gentle pressure that signals safety. This self-soothing effect is especially powerful during difficult periods: grief, loneliness, burnout, or global uncertainty. People instinctively turn to comfort viewing because it restores a sense of stability. The characters don't change, the world doesn't collapse, good things still happen. That consistency counters the chaos outside the screen. It's also a form of emotional rehearsal. By revisiting moments of joy, resolution, or connection, you remind your brain that those states are possible. This builds resilience. When real life feels heavy, you have proof, stored in memory, that lightness returns. Importantly, this isn't numbing or avoidance. You're not suppressing feelings. You're processing them in a gentle, contained way. The emotions are real, but they're safe. You leave the viewing feeling regulated rather than drained. In a world that demands constant emotional labor, choosing self-soothing through media is intelligent care. It's proactive regulation. You meet your needs before they become crises. Comfort viewing isn't weakness, it's a quiet strength that keeps you steady. A common criticism of rewatching is that it means avoiding new experiences or personal growth, but the opposite is true. Returning to familiar stories is often what enables growth elsewhere. Think of it like exercise recovery. You don't build muscle during every workout. You need rest days for repair and strengthening. Similarly, your mind needs downtime to integrate new information, process emotions, and recharge creativity. Constant novelty without breaks leads to overload, reduced focus, and burnout. Rewatching provides that rest. It gives your brain low-effort engagement that still delivers meaning, humor, and emotional depth. While you're just rewatching, your mind quietly processes the day, consolidates memories, and restores energy. This downtime makes you more open to new things later, when you actually have the capacity to appreciate them. Many people alternate. They explore new shows when they're energized, then return to favorites when they need to recover. This rhythm prevents exhaustion. New content challenges you, expands perspective, introduces fresh ideas. Familiar content soothes, stabilizes, and reminds you of your values. Both are necessary for balanced growth. Rewatching also reinforces identity in a healthy way. Stories that shaped you, your sense of humor, your ideals, your empathy get revisited and reaffirmed. Each cycle strengthens the foundation while life continues to build on top. It's not stagnation, it's maintenance of core self. Additionally, because you change between viewings, the same story offers new lessons. You notice different details, feel different emotions, draw new connections. Growth happens through reflection, not just novelty. Familiar media becomes a mirror for that reflection. Far from holding people back, comfort viewing often supports forward movement. After a tough week, a rewatch restores emotional balance so you can tackle challenges better. It's fuel, not a roadblock. The key is balance. If someone only rewatches and never tries anything new, that might indicate avoidance. But for most people, rewatching is part of a healthy mix, recharging so they can engage with life more fully. Embracing both new and familiar isn't a contradiction, it's wisdom. Growth requires both challenge and comfort. Rewatching supplies the comfort that makes challenge sustainable. Comfort shows and movies are not crutches, they are companions. They travel with you through different chapters of life, offering consistency when everything else shifts. In an inconsistent world where jobs change, relationships evolve, and time moves too fast, these stories remain steady. They remind you who you were, the teenager laughing at the same lines, the young adult finding solace in familiar characters, the older version understanding deeper layers. They also show who you are now, someone capable of growth, reflection, and self-care. And they gently point toward who you're becoming, more resilient, more connected to your own story. Returning to favorites isn't about being stuck in the past, it's about honoring what shaped you while staying present. The laughs still land because humor endures. The tears still come because emotions are timeless. The resolutions still satisfied because hope is necessary. This habit builds emotional stability. Predictability lowers stress. Familiarity breeds comfort. Repetition strengthens identity. All of these are psychological benefits backed by research on nostalgia, mere exposure, and self-regulation. Choosing peace through media is not avoidance, it's active care. Of course, new stories matter. Fresh narratives expand horizons, introduce new perspectives, challenge assumptions. They keep life dynamic. But there's no rule saying you must always seek the new. Sometimes the most meaningful choice is to return to what already resonates. Your comfort show or movie is a little piece of constancy. It doesn't demand anything from you. It simply waits, ready to deliver joy, laughter, tears, or quiet understanding whenever you need it. In a noisy, demanding world, that reliability is precious. So the next time someone questions why you're watching the same thing again, know this: you're not wasting time. You're investing in emotional well-being. You're conserving energy for what matters. You're staying connected to yourself across time. You're choosing stability when chaos is the default. There's nothing wrong with new experiences. Explore them when you're ready. But there's also nothing wrong with returning to the stories that hold you together. They've earned their place. They've proven their value. They're part of your story, and revisiting them is part of living it well. Your favorites aren't holding you back. They're helping you move forward, calmer, clearer, and more yourself than ever.